After fighting tooth and nail for health care to fight the deadly illnesses that have resulted from their heroism, 9/11 first responders now find out in order to qualify for that health care, they must first be screened by the FBI's terrorism watch list to make sure they're not terrorists. Joining me now for more from New York, Jim Ryder. He's Director of Political Affairs for the FealGood Foundation, and he is a 9/11 first responder himself, a retired New York City police officer. Now, Jim, you guys fought a long time to get the James Zadroga 9/11 health and compensation law passed. We've covered that extensively. I know what a fight it was. I've interviewed a number of you guys. Does this latest kind of loophole or provision add insult to injury?
Absolutely. It's some kind of queer logic that the good senator from Florida has that would cause this to be in the bill, but it's not going to deter us. We're going to get what we need to get done, and we'll move another mountain if we need be.
Why do you think this provision was added?
I don't know. There's the old saying, you don't want to watch sausage or politics being made, but who knows, who cares what his logic is. It's unnecessary, it's wrong, and it's not at all comical.
What do you think is wrong with it, and what's been the reaction from the 9/11 first responder community? I know you guys are all real tight.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll answer it in two answers. What's wrong with it is these are first responders. These are the people that ran into the buildings when everybody else was running out, with no regard to their own safety, but for the needs of this city and this state and this country. They knew on that day that their heroism was going to come out, and it did. But to answer your second question, how we feel about it, there are some responders who have severe post-traumatic stress, much more than mine. And they are dealing with the traumas of life every day since 9/11. And they are taking 40 or 50 pills per day. They've got a lot of stress in their mind. In 2006, the federal government said that post-traumatic stress is a physical ailment. So these people are dealing with enough physical ailments. Now they're going to have more stress and more physical ailments because of the federal government.
Because do you think that they're concerned that this will slow down them getting health care, or do you think they're very insulted that they're being screened on a terrorism watch list just in terms of kind of that being a mark of some kind of, I don't know, a black mark?
There are a huge amount of people that turn to the FealGood Foundation for help, thousands of people, and we're glad to help every one of them. And yes, that's going to be their first reaction is I'm not going to get the medical coverage and the compensation I deserve, but they need to turn to us for the help, and we'll help them. And we're not at all deterred, and we're going to make sure that whatever it is they need answered, the federal government will answer it, and we'll move on.
But is that the fear? Is the fear that this is going to be one more thing that slows down people being able to use this bill? Or is it that it's so insulting to be needing to be screened as a terrorist when you were a hero that was, you know, responding to a tragedy?
It's both. It's this stressful thing. It's upsetting. They think they're not going to be compensated. They think their government thinks they're terrorists. And look, these letters haven't gone out yet. They're going out. We'll read them carefully. We'll make sure we understand them. But I can give you an example of the left hand not giving the right hand the answers. I just recently got my TWIC certification, which means Homeland Security did a 6-month investigation on me. And they know who I am, but they're not telling the rest of the government who I am because I'm going to be one of the recipients of these stupid letters.
Oh, wow. That's a great point. And, you know, I do want to bring up, you know, my producer did tell me that you guys just lost another 9/11 first responder, and I'm so sorry for that. But
yesterday.
I was wondering if you could just talk a little bit about, you know, what you guys really have been through. I don't know if everybody understands how many of you have dealt with illnesses that have not been identified or diagnosed, that are very confusing, and not had health care for them.
Look, a lot of the responders who came down there in 9/11 and the days, weeks, months, and years after 9/11, I was down there for 4 years. I was exposed to that stuff for 4 years. A lot of these people were the moneymakers in their family, and justly so, and that's their decision, their business. But now the moneymaker is staying home because he's taking 40 medications a day. He can't afford his medical bills. He can't afford his prescriptions. He can't pay his mortgage, all because he was a hero. And now on top of all that, he thinks his government is accusing him of being a terrorist. It's just too much stress and too much drama to bring into this. This great bill, this important bill, has finally been passed, and now we're dealing with this crap.
Well, I'm so sorry that you're having to deal with that, and I want to thank you for your heroism and for telling us about this. That was Jim Ryder, Director of Political Affairs for the FealGood Foundation, a 9/11 first responder.